Shalom, shalom. Man, just wanted to give you guys a first setup or a first impression of the White Duck Rover Scout tent. You know, this is a tent that I'll be using for 2025 Feast of Tabernacles. And man, I'll give you my overall good impressions, let you know what I think about it. Roll that intro. Man, first and foremost, all praise to the Most High Yah Shalom. Man, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rocker Family Homestead. All right, so for this year, I'll go ahead and turn the camera around. This is the White Duck Rover Scout tent. I'll go ahead and give you some orientation. You know, it does come with a stove jack. Okay, so that's good. So this thing can handle the seasons. You know, man, the reason I went with this and spent what I spent on it, altogether, I got the base, which is a base designed for this tent. It's a tarp, comes with its own stakes and anchors, helps preserve the floor of the tent, and that's an additional add-on. That was 65 bucks. The tent itself was $5.50. And I'll tell you, man, every year since I've been keeping Tabernacles, I would go to like Academy or Dick's or your Sporting Goods and buy those Ozark Trail type tents, and they were not holding up. They were not holding up. I was breaking poles. Those poles on those tents that you get from like Academy are small like this rope right here. They're small. And you see the high wind, you know, where I'm setting this up, which is in Oklahoma. There's no covering concealment. There's no trees or anything like that. So they were just breaking, man. I would go run some errands, come back and find out my doggone poles had broke, and that's the pretty much end of that tent unless you order the parts. And I didn't want to be ordering parts every year after year when there's quality tents out there that are better suited for what I need. So, man, when you think about this Scout tent, this is the front entrance, okay? Has a nice zipper system, okay? And you can enter through this side. The back side has more of like a sunshade canopy, but you can't enter in through the back. So when setting it up, once you lay out the tent, you definitely want to undo both sides and see which side has the bulk of the material. If it's got the bulk of the material, that is the back for the sunshade portion. If it has the zipper, this is the entry. Man, it has some nice grommets to hold the stuff out of the way. This is a nice, good, thick material. And one thing about it is when you're looking at these buckles, man, it's heavy duty. They didn't skimp off with using metal that you can bend with your fingers and things like that. You know, these poles comes in a 3-piece. You get 2 of these poles to hold the upright ends, and this is a nice thick pole. The construction of this pole is nice and thick compared to if I was buying those ones from Academy or those ones you get for like 150 bucks. The poles were super thin and narrow. Man, this thing has let me show you these. These are just the base stakes, and they're about as thick as the actual support poles on those cheaper tents. So that is a nice quality stake. You know, even when some of those stakes that I had before from those cheap tents, when I'm pounding them in, the stakes bend. Not only are these stakes thicker in gauge, they're longer, so they go deeper. Okay, so you don't have that chance of, you know, pulling stakes especially in high wind. You know, when it comes to the rope, this is about twice the thickness of 550 cord, nice and thick. Okay, nice heavy duty thick piece of tensioner, metal tensioner. nice. Other ones that I've used in the past have had plastic tensioners, okay? And over time, that's gonna wear out. You know, man, when you look at these stakes to pretty much support the upper part of the tent, man, this is 3/8. This is 3/8 rebar. It comes with 3/8-inch rebar. Now, let me tell you something. This white duck tent, when I bought them Ozark Trails or, you know, whatever those other Culligan tent or whatever they are, you know, you're gonna need a hammer, and the tents don't come with it. This one comes with its own mallet. It comes with everything you need out of the package to get this thing set up. And one great thing about it is, you know, it comes in an oversized bag. So at the end of Tabernacles, I'm not trying to do doggone origami to figure out how to package this thing back up in the way it needs to be packaged. So yeah, that's nice heavy duty stakes. You get 8 of those. You get 8 base stakes, and then for the tarp, they give you an additional. It comes with 6 stakes itself, and man, this thing took me a total of. Let's go ahead and make an adjustment, because that wind will real easy to adjust. Keep your tension on it, and I'll take you guys, give you a look what it looks like from the inside. Okay, and this is it right here. You got that stove jack that you can use right here, and it's got ventilation. It's got ventilation on every side. So especially in the summertime, that is going to be beneficial. You can roll these flaps up. You see the little roll up holders that it has. This side, like I said, it's got a sewn in seam, but it doesn't have a zipper, so you can't enter in through the back. You can see the extra material that's on the back side of that screen. And this is it, man. This is the Rover Scout tent, and I've got 2 entry level, nothing expensive, 2 entry level McKelligan Outdoors cots. Got my hunting chair. I've got sleeping bags, and let me show you this bag. This is an oversized bag. It wasn't squeezed in here like you're like some of these tents when you buy them. Soon as you're unboxing them, you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna get this back in there. You're not gonna have that problem with this, because it's a nice oversized bag, nice thick quality bag. You're not gonna have any problems with. It does come with a hole for an outlet for extension cord, but doing this, man, I'm not using anything connected to the house or the grid or anything like that. I'm not planning on using a generator or anything like that. And I tell you, man, this thing is, I can already tell by setting it up the quality of the parts of how stout it is. Okay? Of how stout it is. And I'll go to the back and show you. This thing is stout. So when you unzip this, what it does is it has extra material, and you get like an extra awning that comes out. It comes with the tent. You can see that tarp that I purchased for an additional amount. And the great thing about this is, man, when I pack this up, you know, at the end of Tabernacles, the 7-day feast, you know, I can put it away with confidence, knowing that it's gonna withstand and be good for next year. And for that intent right there, it's worth every penny, because this year would have been the 3rd year that if I wouldn't have had to get this, I would have had to go buy another tent from like Academy Sports or something like that. And you see people, just the reviews on these, you see people, you know, leaving these tents up. They've done tests with leaving these tents up year round, and man, they've got some good reviews, you know. And that right there is what I'm looking for. I've bought 2 of those other tents, those entry-level tents, 150, and they might have been a little bit larger, but I'd rather have less space and durability and strength and rigidity than having a tent that's larger. And you can say, for instance, if you were to go camping and go fishing and come back, man, your tent poles then broke. You know, you couldn't count on it. And this tent, I know, man, if it will hold up in this Oklahoma wind, I know we're gonna be good. So just wanted to share that with you. That's the total overall, you know, first impression of the tent. Wasn't complicated. I think it took me a total of maybe 10, 11 minutes to set up because it was my first time, but man, it was easy. The hardware comes in a nice little wrapped casing where you can put it all back in nice and organized. And you can tell, man, this is a quality tent. And this is where I'm gonna be keeping the feast this year. Got my little rock pit set up right there where I have my fire and, you know, trying to get back to not using so much electronics or running an extension cord, you know, put my coffee percolator, grill my food, things like that, to be able to do it all near the campsite. And maybe a little bit of solar power. And that's about it, man, because if you got to retreat to the wilderness like they had to do biblically, you're going to need a setup that doesn't require connection to the grid. And having a good tent, having a good dwelling is the first thing. So I'm going to look and do some research on a good heater system, you know, a good wood burning heater system. Got to look at White Duck, got to look at some of the other ones. You know, if you have a Beaver tent, you know, let me know down in the comments of what you think about your Beaver canvas tent, because that was the other brand that I was gonna go with, but I was like, I'd rather go with this because I'm seeing more reviews on these ones. Now the Beaver tent could be just as good. I think it came in around 330 bucks, but let me know down in the comments, because if this thing is good, or if people have tried both and they like the Beaver just as good as they like this one, I'm willing to try it, because I'm gonna get more of these tents. I'm gonna get more of these tents to have a pack out that will support my own household, my whole household. You know, for my children, eventually we'll get the shower set up, you know, the actual, everything that we need to, if we need to survive in the wilderness, we'll be able to do so. So just wanted to share that with you guys. This is the Feast of Tabernacles setup for 2025. White Duck Rover Scout tent. Man, hope y'all have a blessed day. Stay encouraged, stay motivated, walk strong.